Welcome to Chaotic Calling. My name is Starwin and I am the DM for Chaotic Calling. Open RP Friday. If you have found this video, you may be doing one of two things: joining our Friday game, or you are here to learn how to use Charactermancer, which I can help you do both. For our Friday game though, if you are here, join us over at chaoticcalling.tv or twitch.tv/chaoticcalling. You will find yourself on this page once you insert our advert, and hopefully you click the video link and now you are watching this video and you're about to go through the steps to get into the game. First thing and foremost, I ask everybody to go to the bands, look at the band list, make sure that you are kind of like aware of what is allowed and what isn't allowed. We had to ban some certain spells, we had to ban some certain races, and we would appreciate your cooperation by following these bans, simply because we want to be able to have a game that we can easily play through without having complicated turn orders to make the game faster for everybody. Now, in order to get into the game, if you are brand new to Roll20, there's this lovely launch button right here. If you would hit launch game, you will now be entered into the game. Now, I am entering as a DM, which I probably should switch that. But as soon as you pop into the game, you will see a message pop up from our welcome package. A blank character sheet has been created for you. To start building, you could click this link. And as you can see, this thing will pop up with a pop-up that will also ask you if you want to start with Charactermancer, what have you. You can click the start with Charactermancer. In the future, we're hoping that it will fix, but if it does not, for the meantime, I need you to follow these specific instructions to get to Charactermancer. On your character sheet page, on the character sheet tab, underneath all the information here, you will not be using this right away, but look at the core, the bio, the spells, and a cogwheel. You will click this cogwheel here on the far right. It'll bring you to a page where there's a lot of intimidating text. Do not be scared. Scroll all the way down to the bottom right. There is a launch level 1 Charactermancer, cannot be undone. You will click that button. Then you will start to take the Charactermancer quiz. Basically, this is asking you what kind of character do you wish to make. Read over anything that you see important and click next. The most important part is deciding what race you're going to be. And for an example here, we're going to go ahead and pick a human for various reasons. Now, when you choose alignment, we would like for everybody to choose at least chaotic neutral or better. We do not want any evil characters in our campaign, so please help us out, cooperate, and we'll make sure you can have a place to play some D&D. For language proficiencies for this human in particular, you do get to pick extra languages, so you make sure you go through the menu, find something that you think would be interesting. If you have any questions about what kind of languages would be recommended, you can always ask me in the Discord, or if you're watching this video to learn how to use Charactermancer, make sure you ask your DM, who may have suggestions that they're willing to give you. Now, I do allow both standard and variant humans, so we'll go ahead and pick variant, because a lot of you folks love variant. We will go with, well, let's see here. I was thinking about making this a wizard, so we're going to go ahead and go with intelligence and con. On this wizard in particular, we probably want something related to magic, but let's see here. Let's do insight, though, because I don't think that's one of their defaults. But anyway, now we got to choose our class, which we're going to choose the wizard. So, and as you can see, I'm quickly clicking through the next as soon as I fill everything in. Once you pick the wizard, more stuff comes available. So what kind of skill proficiencies? Well, we're going to take Arcana and Investigation. There's a list of everything else down here that tells you what you're getting as you go, so feel free to read through that if you need to. On top of that, the ability score method. On this part here, you will go to choose and roll for stats. Now, if you are watching this video and your DM has a different way of doing it, make sure you ask them, because you might be clicking custom. But for us, it's roll for stats here at Chaotic Calling. You will hit 4d6, drop lowest. And when you do this, you will ask the DM, are those good? And usually I will respond to you, because I have a rule. If you have two dump stats similar to what just spawned, you go ahead and click the button again. And for instance, okay, this one's rough. I like this example. You could keep that, but because I see so many 11s, I would suggest that I'll let you have one more, just for fun. Once again, too many 10s, but there are some good 15s there. So these are like discretionary. The DM might be like, nah, go ahead and re-roll if you want. And then you'll get something similar to this. And then that's like, okay, that's a good stopping point. That's actually a good roll. I think you'll be fine with those. When you go to plug in these numbers down below, make sure you pick 1 per row per column. So they should not overlap, because if they do, like if I put 16 charisma and then I go 16 strength, it's going to remove it from here because it's 1 per column per row. Makes sense? Since we are playing a wizard, we will want that 16 in intelligence and possibly constitution, dexterity next maybe, and probably 13, 12, and then that. And as you can see, I have 1 per column, 1 per row. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Once it does make sense and you have all of your numbers plugged in correctly, hit next. Choose your background. Backgrounds are very important. However, you want to be aware if we are allowing certain backgrounds. If you have something that's questionable, like House Agent or possibly any of these Orzovs, you might want to ask about those, because we might not be allowing... I know for sure we're not allowing the Strixhaven, so do not pick anything that says student in the name. But anything else you might want to ask. Simic hybrids are probably going to be banned from here on too, so just kind of like ask if anything new has happened, if you're picking something that's not normally picked. For this one here, we will probably pick Sage if I recall correctly. So we'll pick Sage, and you are allowed to pick a background because this gives you mechanical value. So with the mechanics of your background, you are able to take that with you. Next, at the bottom here, it has like specialties, personality traits, stuff that relate to creating the character's persona. Now, if you'd like, you can go ahead and leave this blank. We do not require you to fill this in. Feel free to leave this blank and do what you will, because usually I go by the DMing skill of I will see how you play in game. And basically, you are a clean slate in our D&D game for our current Friday, where it is basically amnesias. But this could be a future video for a future scenario where it could be different. So keep in mind of what the current progress is, or what kind of things are happening in our game. Moving on though, let's keep it going. You hit next after you go through all that. How would you like to choose your equipment? Please pick class equipment, and then go through here and pick everything that you want to be bringing with you. Do not do anything untowards. Just make sure you get class equipment, because if you do the gold, we don't have time to do any spending. So to make sure you have equipment at the start of the game, you must pick class equipment. It also suggests arcane focus for wizards, unless you really do want to make game harder and go component pouch, but I prefer just pick a focus. Let's be done with it. Next, you have drop-down menus for your first spell selection, which is nice. This is also available for clerics as well. So pick your spell selection accordingly of what you want to do. For instance, just pick light, firebolt. What else do we need? Ray of Frost, something similar like that. Then go through your first level spells and do the same thing. False Life, Disguise Self, Detect Magic, whatever, Burning Hands, or like depending upon what kind of wizard you're making, or if you're a cleric, or if you're doing other things, make sure that you pick your spells according to what you want. Once you have all the spells selected, you go next. Because we picked the human variant, we do have the option to choose a feat at level 1. And I do allow the humans to have their feats if they wish. So in this case here, the best thing to do for mage is probably Warcaster. Make sure you meet all the prerequisites, and if it is a questionable one like Strixhaven, do not select those. Those are probably banned. Make sure you ask if something is banned that seems questionable, like Strixhaven or anything from that series, Magic the Gathering series. Sorry. Next, you want to change your character's name to your actual name that you want to use for your character. Insert age, height, weight, eyes, hair color, whatever descriptors you need, so that whenever we ask you, hey, what does your character look like, you'll be able to just kind of like look at that and be like, oh, here's the description. I can form it quickly. Make sure you have the information that you want to use for that. Not necessary, but it's there for you to kind of like use whenever we come back around every week to let everybody describe what their character looks like. From here on, you're going to come to the review page. On this page here, you will find some markers that might pop up and ask you to go back and check something. If you have any of those markers, for instance, abilities is a very notorious one. It might say you did not finish your ability scores. You'll go back to the abilities tab, fill in the right one, and then go back to review. Once you cure whatever is wrong with your character sheet, if you're having any problems, feel free to ask. We are here to help. Hit apply changes. And then step 1 has been done. You have created a character. Welcome to our game. Now, because we have a level milestone at level 4 at the current time of this video, we're going to increase the level of our character up to level 4. So to do that, there are 2 methods. One, we could go back to the cogwheel, scroll all the way down, and click this anvil. However, thanks to Roll20's new shortcut that they added, you could just click this Charactermancer anvil right there by the name. It's very easy, very simple. I love it. Great addition. Next, go through the quiz just like you did earlier. When you're adding levels to your character, keep in mind you're already level 1. To increase to level 4, you would only add 3. So 3 plus 1 equals 4. Once you click outside of this box, you'll see this adjust. So make sure it is adjusted to the proper level. If not, make sure you change, click outside of it, and make sure it's the proper level that we're supposed to be. My rules for HP may differ from other DMs. So once again, if you are using this to learn how to use Charactermancer, this does not apply as your DM. However, for my rules, you have the option to take average, or you can roll for HP. If you roll, any ones that you roll will be allowed to be rerolled. So like if this was a 1, I would allow you to click this button to reroll it. So here, let's just say that's the example, right? So say like it rolled 165. Alright, I see the 1, you go ahead and click this button and it'll reroll it. And of course it goes back to a 2. Isn't that nice? Next, you will need to pick your tradition or your archetype or what have you, whatever your subclass is. Some of you, if you're picking cleric, may have done this at level 1. Some of you may have done this at level 2, and usually by level 3 the full arcane or the multi aspect of your class is picked. So 1, bladesing is banned. Do not pick that or you will die of a heart attack as soon as you enter the game. Other than that, feel free to pick up any of the schools that are available there. I don't think anything else is banned. Order of Scribes is banned. There are bans. You know the ban list. Go look it up. I'm not going to talk about it here. I should stop that. Alright, moving on. Once you pick your chosen school or archetype, you move along. Make sure everything is as it should be. You can read over what you're gaining as you're leveling up. And then once more, since we're at level 4, we have an ability score increase, which gives you the option to either take ability score or you can take a feat. Once again, go through here, make sure you qualify for said feats, and do make sure that they're not Strixhaven related because those probably will not count for you. But in this case here, if you want to do ability score increase, like we could top off that intelligence by 2. How's that sound? And then we can click next. Since we're a human, we already picked up a feat at level 1, so why not? Going forward here, now you will pick your spells, but this time you will be plugging in what spell you want. So like for this here, we do get one more, I believe, cantrip. So 3 of 4, we go ahead pick, I don't know, anything will work. Dancing lights, why not? Sure. Do not, pick what you want. Like I'm just building it for the video. And then here we have, you could add 6 new spells. Looks like we have what? Well, because we're level 4, we definitely want to check our level 2 spells. So, pick your spells accordingly. Let's see. And I guess we do get 6. Alright. Let's see here. Just picking some random stuff so we can keep going. Alright, cool. Moving on from there, once you pick your spells, check your before and after. Make sure it's properly labeled. Everything looks good. Everything looks great. Once you're confirmed on that, you click apply changes. And once again, you have done it. You've managed to level up and are almost ready to join the game. Next up, we need to edit the character to get a token. And to do so, we will go to edit at the top right. And then there are two options right here where we will place art for our character. Now, in order to create a template to where we can have a round token, I recommend token stamp at rolladvantage.com/token stamp. If it will be linked in the descriptions down below. Also, you will find this link in our Discord, in our pinned messages, in most of our D&D channels or the Admiral channel. Feel free to check that out. Now, in order to choose an image, we need to find one first. So I recommend going to Google and searching for D&D Wizard male, and then find a picture that you think would best represent you. Hey, look, doesn't that look nice? But pick something, right click, save image as, and then we'll just kind of like go with that images. All right, and then when you go into token stamp, you're going to go choose image. You're going to look for that image you just found, and there you go. Now move it around accordingly where you can see the token, and then, you know, play with the border if you want, but please make it circle if you would. That way it's kind of uniform with everybody else. You could change the color of your token a bit, the border that is, and then from there, you know, you just kind of like move that up, make sure it looks good, and then once you have that done, you can hit download, and it will download, right? You'll see it, that it downloaded. Then you go to Open RP Friday, or you go to back to the game tab, right? You go click to upload. We're going to go ahead and put it here, and then we're also going to go ahead and put it there. So click to upload and put it in both spaces, just to be sure, because we've been having problems. Normally we should have been able to get it to work with just being here. However, that hasn't been the case lately, so make sure you put it in both. If it'll allow me to do so, that'd be great. There we go. Now once you have that set, you need to find our character sheet in the journal. Because the welcome package has a shortcut to get to your character sheet, you might be like, well, where is my character sheet normally? And you might get easily intimidated by how many people are in the game or how many tokens you're able to see. So in order to find your character sheet, you could go all the way down to the bottom and click here. But you can also hit the search, look for your name. Excuse me. You can click search and look for your name, and then come down here. Anyway, we need to drag our token in. So in order to do that, make sure you left click the name, not the picture, and drag it onto the board. Like, hold down left click, drag, drop, boom. Click your token, hit delete if you need to remove it, if you put too many copies, because Roll20 likes to lag. And then I, as the DM, will come in here and do the adjustments that need to be done in order to make your character sheet work. Nope. For some reason they decided to do that. And then this is all DM stuff here that you're seeing that I do. As soon as you get finished, I go ahead and make sure your HP is in there, your AC is in there, everybody can see your name and stuff like that. And then boom, now your token looks like that. And then I will use selected token. Hopefully that took, I hope. So if it did take, we should be able to see your token whenever we drop this out. Alright, there we go. That's how it's done. So once that's confirmed, we got that finished. That is the end of the video. You guys pretty much learned how to make a character quickly and easily, and hopefully if you have any further questions, you can go ahead and ask them in the Discord. If you are watching this video for other people's reasoning to learn how to use Charactermancer video, please leave a comment, leave a like, leave a subscribe, help the channel out. We'd much appreciate it. And maybe I'll make more content like this to make it easier for people to learn other aspects of Roll20. Thank you for your time, thank you for your patience, and we'll see you in the next game.